What's up, everybody? So we're back here with another episode, Johnny and Gene, and today we're going to talk about a very fishy subject, as I want to say. I've been looking into this. It's kind of it's kind of like this. You can't say what you think it is, but you know what it is, and I'm gonna let Johnny Eli explain it, and because he knows this stuff very well, and you tell us your opinion, what you think really happened. Yeah, Johnny.
So the Dreamliner is Boeing. It was quality manager John Barnett that was testifying. He's had a 32-year career with the airlines. He gave testimony against Boeing and the safety concerns he had with Boeing and what they were doing. While prior to him testifying, they knew he was going to testify. He was harassed by Boeing. He was intimidated by Boeing, he claimed. There was other employees that say that he was being intimidated, he was being harassed, and they stagnated his career where he couldn't get any kind of higher position. And eventually he ends up testifying against Boeing. He gave testimony. He was very specific of the safety concerns of Boeing and the Dreamliner, especially about that model itself, that there was concerns about the safety of what they were doing, cutting corners, money, not following the FAA rules, regulations, the upkeep of the plane, different things that they were doing with the plane. Now, the morning of his second testimony, he was staying at a hotel. He extended his stay at that hotel. The employees of the hotel said they seen him drinking a soda, sitting down. He was pleasant. He didn't seem depressed. Nothing that would think that he would do something to himself. Texting on the phone, writing on the phone, very relaxed. And some of his friends, family members, other employees said he never showed signs of talking about killing himself. His attorneys questioning it, and they found him that morning before he's supposed to testify again, shot in the head, dead in a truck. And they claimed there was a scribbled note on his dashboard that he killed himself. Now, we went through one of these where I did on the Epstein one.
It's
I
the
did
same
Epstein
thing.
one.
It's the same thing.
And these coincidences of these people dying like this, no different than Obama's Campbell, his chef, that they said that he accidentally died visiting Martha's Vineyard at the Obama's house. Yep. Conveniently, these people are all dying by suicides, drownings, heart attacks.
Hillary Clinton, how many people died next to her? Killed themselves? 40 of them?
And now Barnett, and here's the kicker, being a guy that did what I did for a living, I knew, and most people wouldn't know this, when you watch a movie and you see a suicide, or you watch a movie when they stage a suicide, they have either holding down the guy or they got somebody else with a shotgun to him and they put a gun in his hand and they make him shoot himself. Or they shoot him and they place the gun in his hand and you see the body with the gun in the hand. Here's the problem. In about 80% of the cases, when someone does kill themselves by gunshot, suicide, the gun doesn't stay in your hand. So obviously, in the case I'm going to talk about now with Barnett, the gun was in his hand.
Wow.
So whoever in my opinion, set that up, I guess they don't watch they watch a lot of TV and they don't watch a lot of true crime. Because if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't have kept that gun in his hand.
Right. It's wild.
And any evidence besides that, from anybody that talked to him at that hotel,
right,
nobody's seen any signs of anything like this.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
So most people wouldn't know.
You know, they have that device. They like make you. They put it in your hand. They wrap it to you, and then they like they pull. I've seen it actually in a movie. It's real the way they did it, and they make you shoot yourself in the head. I guarantee. Listen, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. It's just that it's just too many incidents like this. You think Jeffrey Epstein? You think Epstein killed himself in that jail cell? I told you. I was right there. I know the kind of jail cell he was in. I seen those cells. You can't kill yourself in those jail cells. So we're not even going to get into it. We know what's going on.
I had just recently, and as condolence to Matt, friend of ours and a good friend of my friends hung himself. Jason David Frank, last year, my friend, the Green Ranger, karate expert.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He killed himself. He hung himself.
He played the Power Ranger, right? Yeah. I spoke to him a few times. He was in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
He hung himself. A friend of ours in Canada, he hung himself. My friend Brian shot himself. So, unfortunately, I know a lot of people that have killed themselves, hung themselves, shot themselves.
My friend shot himself.
My other friend, his brother, I won't say his name because I'll keep it private for his family, last year shot himself in the stomach. The gun doesn't stay in your hand.
That's right.
And they say 80%. It's closer to 90%. So I don't know where they get the statistics of 80%. I don't know.
Revolver, handgun, what was it?
It was a revolver. Now,
why would you want to kill yourself if he's doing all this? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you, this doesn't make sense.
Statistics say it's, closer to 80% for whatever reason. I don't know how they formulate that, but it's, in my opinion, it's closer to 90%. So whoever, in my belief, set this up, no different than the Bush and Clinton's chef, also died by accidentally in the water. I mean, when people say conspiracy theories, I mean, if you look into this Barnett case and it's an open investigation of...
why do you think they want TikTok gone? Why do you think they want TikTok? Do you see how much stuff gets revealed on TikTok now?
Yeah.
They want it gone. It's giving too much information about aliens, about this. They want it gone. It's bad. They want it off the map. They're trying to say, oh, it's because of war. It's a risk to us or something like that. It's like it's a threat to us. TikTok.
You got to remember in the aerospace technology area, for people that don't know, they have about 3 years to solve problems. They can when there's an issue with a plane. And I know some mechanics, that's how I know. And I used to travel back and forth from the Cayman Islands to Cuba. And I didn't like to fly, and I was getting on a flight one day, and it was really bad out.
I hate planes.
And the mechanic ran into me, and he was friends with my friend Ryan. And he told me they're going on 3 years. And I said, what do you mean they're going on 3 years? He said they fine them, they threaten them, they send them notices, and they have almost 3 years they can play around with and not fix what they're supposed to be fixing before they pull their license, and criminally they don't let them fly. But they can play with that. Now, from what I understand, Boeing had about 80-something different problems with different planes. About 30-something of them are still outstanding. I think it was 39,
wow,
to be exact. And they have time, though. Even though that it says when they come in and they inspect them, they tell them you got to fix this. But they give them time to almost 3 years they can drag it before they get shut down. And it goes into a criminal aspect. So you see all the incidences recently. The tire blew off, the door blew off, a part of the plane blew off, one dropped completely out of the sky. So, these things are...
A door?
Yeah. Really. When they just landed, I think that was maybe a month ago, 2 weeks ago.
The fire, the engines are going out.
One tire came off and went through a car's window. So at this point, you have to really question, see this going on, what really went on with Barnett? Are we ever going to find out? Because when you're looking at shooting after shooting and they keep saying it's suicide, I mean, it's just incredible that the evidence shows.
No, they just don't care. They don't talk about it. It's like when they do this something, you just won't hear about it. That's it. It goes, look at Maxwell, Epstein's wife. How wasn't that all over the news every day? They didn't even talk about it. You didn't even know what was going on.
Well, they don't care about her. They care about protecting who was on the
That's what I'm trying to say. You something like that. Like, look at R. Kelly. He was all over the front page. As soon as it comes to people.
Well, our lawyer, Doug Anton
did
one of
R.
his
Kelly's
lawyers.
case. That's our friend. I use him. He's a great friend of mine. Listen to me. How is it that the Maxwell case wasn't even spoken about? She said, I have a kill switch. If anything happens to me, she was so scared. She knew they killed her husband. Okay, she thought she was getting killed too. Nobody's allowed to talk to an MDC except for one lieutenant. I was in the building when she was in there on another violation, of course. And she was right around where I was. And they said no one's allowed to talk to her except for one person because she's so scared for her life. That's what the COs were telling me. Okay? She knew they killed her husband. She thought she was going to get killed. She said, I have a kill switch. If anything happens to me, all my information gets released that she has. Okay? Then nobody spoke about her. Nobody spoke about the trial, that there was going to be a trial. Nothing. It was swept under the rug. Because why? It's all government. It's all politicians. How come there's nothing about the 100-some politicians that got caught for sex trafficking, sleeping with minors? Nothing. You don't hear about it. It don't go in the paper. Well, you'll put us in the paper for jaywalking.
Look what the Barnett,
Sick.
so the people don't know. The charges Boeing with harassing him, there's a lawsuit Barnett had against Boeing. Harassing him on the job, stalling any promotions, ultimately forcing him to leave the company 10 years before he planned to retire.
Sickest thing ever.
Burnett complained 2 days of his deposition on March 7th and 8th, according to his lawyers, Rob Turkowitz and Brian Knowles. He was tired of being committed to giving his third and final day of testimony.
Crazy.
When he did not arrive to court on March 9th, he did not answer the phone. Lawyers called the hotel where he was staying to check on him, and employees found him Barnett dead with a gunshot wound to the head.
Oh, my God.
This is incredible. This is incredible that they can even try to get him. We did not see any indication he would take his own life. No one could believe it. The Charleston police need to investigate this fully, accurately, and tell the public.
They're going to get told to fall back.
No detail can be left unturned.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Friends of Barnett's told ABC affiliate on March 15th, but Barnett has warned her, if anything happens to me, it's not suicide.
Wow.
That's the key thing.
Wow. They all say that. There was something happened.
Now, he's telling you because he got threatened. He claimed, and his friends claimed that he was being harassed, and he had a major lawsuit, and he was revealing serious allegations against Boeing, which was billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. When it comes to money, you're gone.
He did tell them if something happens to him, it was not a suicide. This is the main part of that.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
So please write in, give your opinions. Let's talk about not just Barnett, but Barnett and some of these murders, suicides that I consider so far that I've talked about. And I only talked about a handful that I believe, they'll try to make them conspiracy theories. These aren't conspiracy theories, especially when I told you, remember, that gun does not stay in your hand. Right. Ask anybody that's in law enforcement. They'll tell you what I'm telling you.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Write in and follow us.
You can follow us at Gene Borello on my Instagram, Johnny Alite. DM us if you want to buy books or whatever it is. Thank you.